What's up everyone, I'm Zigablaze, and this is episode 1 of my Rainbow Six Siege Year 2 Operator Guides. We're kicking things off with Twitch. Twitch's full name is Pichon Emmanuel, and she is 28 years of age. Pichon grew up heavily influenced by the education of math and science, which is very clearly shown with her love for technology. She demonstrates an affinity for complex robotic systems and mechanical processes. Pichon is a self-trained robotics expert and was drafted by the French Army, or the GIGN, as an engineer recruit at the age of 20. She's very intuitive and empathetic with her equipment, and these principles heavily motivate her in her military service. As for her loadout, her primaries consist of the F2, also known as the FAMAS, the 417 marksman rifle, and the SG CQB shotgun. Now, all three of Twitch's primary weapons are viable choices online, but 9 times out of 10 I'm going to recommend the F2 because statistically it's her best weapon. The attachments I recommend for her primary weapon include the ACOG sight for magnification zoom to deal with your opponents at long distance, Flash Hider Barrel to tame the 980 round per minute fire rate that this weapon offers with burst fire, and the vertical grip for obvious reasons because there's no other choice there. As for Twitch's secondary options, she has the P9 and she has the LFP 586 revolver. This is more personal preference than anything, but I tend to go with the P9 over the revolver because I prefer having extra ammo and being able to run a suppressor if necessary. As for her first gadget, you have a choice of Claymore or you have a choice of breaching charges. This just boils down to what your team needs in any given scenario. As for Twitch's operator-specific gadget, she has the use of 2 shock drones to disable traps or injure enemies. The shock drones are deployed in the preparation phase, and then the second shock drone is deployed at your choosing during the round. Twitch's primary role is as a support operator for your team and to deal with any given enemy traps and equipment that is at your disposal. Now, the Twitch drone is different than other operators' bots because it doesn't have the ability to jump to easily evade enemy fire or to jump over obstacles that may otherwise be in your path. My recommendation is to stay low when you're using the Twitch bot and to hide it and be stealthy with your approach. It's not always a good idea to rush right into the objective in the preparation phase while the enemy team's still setting up, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to be looking for your Twitch bot and take it out very quickly. I recommend hiding your Twitch bot somewhere close to the enemy's objective and waiting it out until the preparation phase ends and the enemies are dealing with other things. The reason the Twitch bot is so useful is because it counters so many different operators on the enemy team on defense. Just to list off some equipment that the Twitch bot directly counters, we have Mute's jammers, Mira's gas canister, Echo's yokai drone, Kapkan's laser traps, Smoke's gas bombs, and the list just keeps going on. As for the Twitch drone's direct counters, mute chargers are something you should be wary of at all times when you're heading towards the objective because you can get a Twitch drone muted just as easily as any other drone. As for Twitch herself, she partners up very well with other 3-speed operators that push the objective fast. The reason being is that her drone can be a very good distraction to disorient an enemy who is in the midst of a gunfight with one of your team members. Establishing good communication between you and your teammate when you're twitching an enemy, and letting your teammate know when he or she has that window of opportunity to push the opponent when they're distracted by your drone is crucial for your team. Twitch's primary weapon, the F2, is easily one of the best weapons in Rainbow Six Siege and should not be taken lightly in the midst of a gunfight. If you find yourself in contact with an opponent, as long as you keep your sight on that enemy and you control that recoil to a certain extent, you should win most gunfights and engagements. For a weapon that has such a high rate of fire and can put out lead at a very fast pace, it doesn't have too hard to control recoil, so as long as you can maintain that, you should laser down your enemies very quickly. Twitch is very unique in her ability as an operator because she's very versatile in a Slayer role or a support role for your team. As a Slayer, you can get into very quick gunfight engagements with the enemy and mow them down regardless of their armor rating or their gun skill. On top of that, if necessary, you can play a much more passive role and let your team push up and partner up with someone that's a very fast speed so that you can push the objective together as a Twitch bot and as an operator. As for my overall operator rating for Twitch, she will be receiving a 9 out of 10 as a Slayer, an 8 out of 10 as a support operator, and a 7 out of 10 for difficulty level. Twitch receives a 9 out of 10 as a Slayer operator because her gadget, for one, can kill, and on top of that, The F2 has a very fast time to kill and is very controllable for the amount of recoil that it has, so it's easy to win gunfights. She will be receiving an 8 out of 10 as a support operator because although her gadget is very good at distracting opponents so that your teammate can finish off kills, it can sometimes be very difficult to get your Twitch bot into certain objectives to deal with things like bandits' batteries or mutes jammers to help your teammate infiltrate a certain part of an objective. A lot of the time, it's better off to take a Thatcher and use his grenades to EMP the objective to open it much faster than Twitch would be able to. As for her difficulty level, I'm giving her a 7 because a novice player could pick up Twitch and still do very well, although they may not understand her full potential right off the bat. Her weapon is pretty easy to learn once you learn the recoil pattern, and her gadget can be very useful at distracting opponents even if the person behind the gadget isn't always the best pilot. Overall, Pichon is a very versatile operator who can be used as a support or an attacker role in dealing with the opponent on defense, and she can be a complete nuisance to the enemy team when they need to be dealing with crucial gunfights against your teammates. If you guys enjoyed this type of operator style guide video, then please leave a like down below and leave a comment on the operator you would like to see next in this series. And as always, I will see all of you beautiful faces later. Peace out, guys.